Autumn is just around the corner, and today I want to share with you three signs that you can watch out for to notice if you are falling back to old habits this season. And I will share with you why autumn actually feels so wobbly for us, according to the longevity science of Ayurveda, and invite you to my upcoming challenge called Back to Routine that happens next week on my IG Instagram channel. This is Maja Michalewska. I am certified Ayurveda health therapist. I'm also a transformational coach and just someone who deeply cares about living an embodied, happy, and thriving life. Today, I want to start by saying that if you have been noticing that something is changing inside yourself and around you, it's because we are approaching a very, very strong seasonal change shift from summer to autumn. And what the science of Ayurveda shows us is that this is one of the most subtle and vulnerable times in the year. And that is for many reasons. But the most important ones that I want to invite you to explore for yourself, and as I speak, notice if you have realized them for yourselves, are the following. First of all, summer is governed by a lot of heat energy, right? Days are long, sun is just so warm. We enjoy longer days and we are automatically having the outgoing energy. We have much more energy. We enjoy summer activities. We go often on holidays. We socialize. We do many projects. And what happens when naturally in the world, the sun kind of like turns off the heat because we are moving into another season. Also, this heat that has accumulated in us over summer needs to find a way out. And when you think about heat and fire, what is natural is that it dries you out. So we are naturally much more dry compared to other seasons right after summer. And that leads to what we know in the Ayurveda science, to this phenomena where another energy takes over, and that is the energy of Vata. That is the energy that brings a lot of air and a lot of movement. It's very subtle, it's much colder, and that means for us that whatever accumulated in us needs to find its way out, but at the same time, this subtle energy can shift many things in us and lead into what is recognized as dis-ease. And today I don't want to speak too much about, the disease as we know it. So already symptoms leading to something that you can describe as cold or any other diagnoses. But actually, I just want to name the idea of dis-ease is when you are stepping out of balance. And in autumn, at the beginning of autumn, right at this shift from summer to autumn, we can easily experience this ease, the state where we are not in ease on all levels, on the physical level, on the mental level, and on the psychospiritual level, so our emotional state. And what are the main signs that we are actually entering this state of dis-ease? And how can we actually acknowledge that, oh, something is shifting so we don't fall into old habits? So before we dive into these three main signs that you can recognize for yourself, let me share with you what means falling into old habits. I am sure that you are here because you care about holistic way of living. You care about living long and happy life. That's why the science of longevity, Ayurveda, is so brilliant and shows us that we can thrive at any stage of our life. And the magic lies in understanding that our habits, our daily micro rituals shape our entire experience of life, our reality. What we do today, the micro things, how we eat, how we wake up, what we think, how we approach our professional life, how we interact with others, how we spend our free time, all of that, those micro rituals, the routine that we have, our habits create our life's experience. So, this is also a key for us to know that if we want to transform our life, if we want to feel better, maybe you suffer from some disease, maybe you don't feel so well in your body or mind, this is the perfect place to start your habits. And why we can often fall back into those old habits, rigid habits in autumn is because whenever we are shifting from one season to the other, especially from summer to autumn, this is very vulnerable time. And what happens is that our nervous system feels very fragile. And in order to feel calm and feel safe, our nervous system craves something known. That's why, very often, despite our wishes and our claims that we maybe made over summer, we realize that something serves us and we really want to take that back with us to our everyday, does not happen. It's because the old habits are just known to our nervous system, and that's why very often, very unconsciously, we fall back into them to feel this stability and safety. So, how can we know that those shifts are happening in us? So, first of all, the first sign is that our mind becomes much more scattered as we transition to autumn, and we feel this restless energy. It has to do, as I mentioned, with this energetic phenomenon of vata, which in Ayurveda is basically this energy that is very light, very mobile, and becomes very present in nature, but also in us. And you maybe become very easily distracted. Maybe you can't focus as long as you wish, especially when you're back into tasks that you didn't do over summer. And this also can translate into you adding a lot of tasks to your to-do list because there is the part of you that desires to accomplish all of them, but somehow you get distracted, you get sidetracked very easily. Also, connected to this restless energy is that we don't sleep so well when the shift from summer to autumn happens. And it's just kind of like our sleep becomes lighter. And very often, you might wake up around 2 and 3 a.m. having thoughts, digesting events from the day, but being very conscious that you're not sleeping. Um, so this is very natural sign that you might fall into old habits because you are really full of restless and very scattered, airy energy that will lead you back into something that feels cozy and safe. The second sign is that there enters a lot of inconsistency to your self care, to your routine. Maybe you can also follow it as your routine literally falls apart. And even that it sounds not so common, actually, we build very good routines over summer. This is a great energy for structure. This is a very perfectionist energy, achieving energy. So we develop routines that actually feel very good because if we are in flow with them, we repeat them. Then we return to autumn, and it's not actually possible to just copy paste what we were doing so far and paste it into autumn because it's just completely different energetic time of the year. But also think about what's happening in nature. The days become shorter, it's becoming colder, there is less light, and we're coming into this demanding time of the year where we are back into our work, when there are many projects to finish before the end of the year. So it's kind of like we want to fit something that just cannot enter that box. So the grounding habits that we had over summer just don't quietly enter into autumn, and that causes us to be more hectic in what we do. And literally it can feel that right now maybe you don't have a routine, and it is very natural. And maybe you can notice that this is the time of the year when we often tell ourselves, okay, tomorrow I will be back on track. Tomorrow I will start waking up at this hour. I will make sure that I have those breaks at work, that I go and work out. But what happens is that at the end of the day, you realize you have done completely other things. So again, it's not about shaming ourselves. If you know a little bit my work, you know that it's not about shame. Bringing conscious awareness is the first step, and that's why we are naming those signs today, for you to recognize that they are a sign that you might be getting into this old structure of habits, and therefore you won't be evolving and you won't be changing out of comfort, which is the natural counterbalancing effect that we crave, our nervous system craves in this time of the year. And the third element, sign that I want to mention is that it can be possible that you have cravings and uh, look for quick fixes when it comes to managing your energy, and feeling more energized and on top of things. And what are those quick fixes? Usually, we aim for coffee, strong tea, snacks, sweets, sugar, things that are quickly boosting our energy. But the truth is that it's just creating this artificial wave, um, to literally uh, give us this compensation of the energy that is becoming less available to us because there is less heat, less warmth, less sun, less light as it was in summer. And we kind of crave to keep this wave of energy as high as it was over those summer months, but it is not possible. And anything kind of like going counterintuitively as nature is fading out this element, we kind of need to reconsider how we build it up again. And looking for those quick fixes, it's not a long-term solution as you might imagine, but this is just to recognize and not shame yourself. And maybe you realize that you need one more cup of coffee, or you crave some little snacks in between, now that we are shifting into autumn. And as you now understand, it's just to really compensate for this lack of energy that was available to us. And also, it is to meet the demands of the external tasks and projects that are ahead of us. So, there is a natural way of actually building this wave so it becomes more aligned to the natural fading of this high summer peak energy that can take us through autumn to winter. And I will be sharing more about those uh, hacks and rituals in my upcoming free 7-day challenge, Back to Routine. I will be leading this challenge on my IG Instagram, and I will be posting daily short videos throughout the entire week for you to receive hands-on prompts and get you back on track with your routine so you build it in a very sustainable way according to the proven science and methods that can make sure that on the emotional, physical, and psycho-spiritual level, you are nourished and you feel you are aligned both inside yourself but also with nature. And this challenge, the 7-week challenge starting on Monday, 15th of September, is just a short introduction. It's just like a great introduction and boost for you to actually get interested in this topic, because very often when autumn happens we just kind of like, oh, I don't want to deal with that, somehow I will fall back into the routine. But very often, right, that's why I'm sharing this with you today, we will fall into old habits that actually we don't desire to have anymore in our life or are not beneficial for us. So this challenge is leading to my free masterclass that I will lead on 23rd of September. This is to create your optimal, perfect autumn flow, personalized, that will be exactly designed on this methodology I will be sharing during the challenge. So make sure that you jump onto my Instagram, follow my account, stay tuned, and follow along the challenge, share your progress. This is great space for community. And of course, you're so welcome to already sign up for my free masterclass, Create Your Optimal Autumn Flow, where I will be hands-on teaching you how, according to this science-proved method, you can really align yourself with the new season. Because the moment we start riding the wave of the season, we feel much more empowered, and it's kind of like we go with the flow, and hence the energy of the season is supporting us and leads us to this very beautiful gems and gifts that autumn brings. And I will be sharing more about them in the masterclass. So make sure to sign up, connect with me over Instagram. I'm so looking forward to this 7-day challenge. I will be leading this challenge from Mallorca Island in Spain, where just in 2 months from now, November, I am organizing a transformative 8-day holistic retreat from overwhelmed to aligned, where I will be sharing with you during this really interactive holistic camp a lot of wisdom coming from Ayurveda science, yoga, somatic coaching, to basically transform you and prepare you for the new year that comes next. So, we're going to be boosting ourselves, preparing ourselves for winter, and we are going to be enjoying the beautiful island of Mallorca, rejuvenating our bodies, getting warm and prepared for the dark season. So you are so welcome to sign up and join. The link is also in the comments. For now, I wish you a beautiful rest of the day, and we see each other very soon during the challenge. Much love from me to you. Take care.